microphone seems to be working, so hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. This chat as well. I don't usually get anybody anymore on Twitch or Picarto, but just in case. So today I'm going to continue by coloring pages from our comic book Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be changing the streaming schedule, and I'll put a link in the description below to the questionnaire that is still open. So a number of you have mentioned that you would have liked to join my streams but can't because of the scheduling, so I think I will be changing it to be Wednesday and Saturday, and Wednesday it will be the same time as it has been in the week, and Saturday it will be earlier, so it will be about 11 my time. So I'm gonna be publishing the questionnaire results, but so far it's been requested this way, and if you still want to give your feedback, and I think I will leave this open forever, just in case it ever changes. I think that would be the best course. But for those of you that haven't added your input yet, I'm thinking of doing it that way. Now I'm trying to remember how I deleted this mask here. All of the content, I will move it up a bit more. Table ink. It's too thick. And let me just check, because I don't remember how that table looked like, so I have to go to chapter 1. Okay, so it has a little Sertar, how do I say it in English? I can't remember. There we go. So it would be something like this. again, this panel 1 is gonna be underneath all the other panels. This is gonna be right at the bottom. I want it at the bottom. There we go, not inside panel 8. And I'm gonna add the same color here to fill it. And I'm gonna go to edit the platter. Save it, and I'm gonna draw a line with my hand, and hopefully it'll be straight. So I have a Wacom Intuos Pro medium-sized tablet. Find that the medium size suits me best, and I like the customer support from Wacom, so that's pretty much why I haven't used any other. I have tried other types of tablets. I have tried also the cheaper ones from Wacom because I had them at work or at friends, other artist friends, and I was not pleased with its features. So Intuos is the first one that I've used, and I've always used the Intuos line. They have Cintiqs as well, and the Cintiq you can see in the tablet, so the tablet has a screen and you're drawing over it, and you have your hand over the illustration. Like in real life, but I don't like that. I find it limiting, so I prefer the Cintiq rather than the I prefer the Intuos rather than the Cintiq. So I will start coloring now. And they had some pretty orangish colored bowls, so I'm gonna go for those. No, but we're doing the dishes in chapter 2, so I'm gonna stick to that. But in what page? I passed out in that one. You'd think a comic that I made myself I would know by heart, but I forget on which pages it is. So, you know, now I'm a bit more understanding of when George R.R. Martin or Miyazaki can't name exactly where something happened in their story. There are people that know their work better than they do because they've read it over and over so many times. So these are gonna be bold color, and I still seem to be streaming, I hope. And I have one person watching. Hi there. Nope, that's too dark. Or maybe I should make all of the bowls white. I think would look better, maybe. Oh, it's kind of mishmash in my opinion. They kind of took what they could find. It's not a posh restaurant, so. Maybe I'll put the salad in there. I can't decide. You usually throw away the top of the radish, but I'm guessing Niels doesn't actually know these things. And he just cook whatever. I try to get as much as I can of little jokes in, just little details. I always like it when someone does this for a story that I read, and I kind of see these little um, bits, and makes me wonder, is it an accident, or is that put in there as to characterize or define the personality of a character better? Because as a writer myself, I know there are a bunch of things that I don't think about and I just do them, and they could be interpreted one way or another. So it's always fun to kind of do a bit of guesswork when I read somebody else's work and think, did they actually mean to put that in, or is that a mistake? I know um, some critics, reviewers, they see something in a book that they really like from an author they really like, and they interpret so much of it in there, and they think that, oh, everything was put there for a reason because everything is put in a animation or a comic or a book, as opposed to a film where it could have just been there, put by the props guy or something like that, and then not noticed by the others. So whatever is in a book or a comic or a cartoon, it's 100% the author, and it's really not, but it's still funny when I hear a reviewer say this kind of stuff, that, oh, it definitely was put there for a reason, and they assume that some things are individual works, and they're not. They forget it's a collaboration. I mean, for animation, it should be pretty obvious that it is a collaboration, and it's not 100% the vision of the film director. There are other people working on a project like that. And even for a book, often big authors that have really big stories will put in some detailing from a ghostwriter or something like that. Programmers, again, it's a collaborative effort when you do a video game. Even in stories that you hear, oh, it was one man in his garage that did the whole video game, and it's usually not. They have a publisher, they have beta testers that put in extra stuff they recommend, and then graphic artist or something, programming assistant will add to that. When it's a small team, yeah, I mean, it could be with the approval of the artist, so the lead artist of whatever project that is. So for example, I work with my friend in doing this comic, and I will do something, and then she will interpret it differently than what I meant to do. Sometimes she might not understand what I wanted, and she does something else, and it turns out to be a better idea than what I had. So I'll tell her, yeah, leave it in, because it's better than what I envisioned. or sometimes it's just too much effort to change and it's not really important, so I will say, yeah, leave it like that, it's okay. And then another situation is where we're pressed for time and I would rather that she do things that I can't. So I say, yeah, leave that, I will do it, and you focus on the other things that I can't do. And then I forget to change. And it becomes something else and I don't remember. Gotta love the color bucket tool in Clip Studio Paint. It's just awesome. Now, question is how I'm gonna color the fried fish. Inside of it. I'm gonna Google it because I don't know. Fried carp. Let's see how it looks. So it gets pretty dark on the outside because it was always dark. So, ooh, that looks nice. So maybe I should give it a crispy color. So the meat turns pretty yellow because you have the batter on it. Maybe I should have this for the meat and give it that orangish color for the batter. I try to find out if the 1st of June 1683, which day of the week it was, and I haven't found any online program to do that. Because as far as I know, they were pretty religious back then, so no meat on Fridays or Wednesdays or whatever. Not sure how much of the population followed that, so I'm not very clear on how strictly that was followed, like if it was for the whole population or just the religious folk. But I say it's safe with fish. I think they ate fish was allowed every all the time. I think, I'm not sure. And the potatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's enough. And the fries are gonna be golden. Golden fries. And I think that's a bit of a sprinkle of green onions here. Fortunately, June likes to cook, so she did a great job with this. I did not think to add these on top. So again, I'm gonna repeat that the streaming schedule is going to change for those of you listening in on the recording. So I'm gonna start streaming on Saturday, and instead of streaming Tuesday and Thursday, I'm gonna stream on Wednesday. And in the weekend, sometimes I might not be able to stream, so I will announce it if I don't. Because generally in the weekend we might have to do some traveling or visit someone. So just a heads up, the Saturday one might not be every weekend. I will try to keep to that, but no promises. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it this flat color and I'll add some lighting in when I get to the Photoshop phase. That might change some things again then, so. It's starting to look tasty. I would eat that. And that pie hasn't been seen since chapter 1. Oh, here it is. The famous Dutch apple pie. Creamy custard. And let's see how an apple pie looks like inside. So it's all a beige goldeny color as expected. It's gonna be hard to distinguish it. Okay, so far so good. Chapter 2 for the table color during the day. I have to go. Let's see what page. Was it chapter 2, not 3? I think it was, yeah. This one, I think it was the very last one. Yep. So it's a table next to it, but it's gonna be that color, the same one. Previous let's see, that wooden thing, I'm not sure how it's called in English. Let's see. should turn off all the... There we go. Now I can color properly behind it. Okay, and now the background. It's going to be creamy beige for the wall. And a darker color for the below part. I think it would have wood on the floor upstairs, so I guess it would turn into this at some point. It's gonna be Newton color. And it's gonna be the background here. I'm gonna put a mask over panel 2 just so I don't get out, and also it would be easier for me to color the background. Recent page with Newton's face I don't have, so I'm gonna take out the character sheet. Should have the right color here, more or less. His face and the hair. What did I decide on the buttons? He didn't have buttons, but he has now. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on here. That might be a mistake. I don't know why Jin put in that line, because he didn't seem to have it before. So that'll be panel 1 done. Panel 2, sorry. And actually I should color this as well, because it'll be easier for me if I do it here. Okay. See if I find him in his clothing somewhere. I think here I should get the color. Yep. The weather's getting better in the northern hemisphere, so I'm getting a lot less traffic on my stream. Funny enough, happened to me last year. So first time I thought that people don't like my stream, or I said something and they don't wanna watch the stream anymore, but I then realized that it's good weather outside and they rather be outside after a long winter, and I can't blame people for that. You know, when you're stuck inside, what are you gonna do? Might as well watch a live stream of a comic book that is read only about 100, read by only about 100 people. So you got a little club where you have 100 people reading a comic. Which, if you put 100 people in a room, it's a lot of people, but when you compare the fact that there are 7 billion people in this world, then 100 readers is no longer an impressive number. And sometimes I wonder what it would have been like if we didn't have internet. I think nobody would have read my comic. Or I would have had to have gone to a publisher and they would tell me, yeah, we're not interested, do a love story and get back to us then. Because that seems to be what is really dominating tapas and webtoons. The top 20 comics are and have been for a long time love stories. They just keep dishing them out. So for those of you wondering how does Twilight have success and why they keep making these horrible movies and so on and so forth, well, they do them because people consume these. People really like soap operas, and so they're never gonna stop making them. You're gonna just keep having new soap operas every year, teen movies and so on. It's never gonna stop because there's a really high demand for them. I don't like them, but most people do. The high school drama stories are most popular on the internet because the age is high school mostly. Once you get to college, you don't have spare time to be reading comics on the internet anymore. And it's just the number of people reading these types of things, it just plummets. So you have teenage girls that read love stories when they're in high school, and then they stop doing that and they read more realistic stuff, that is self-help books on how to get the perfect man. See, background color, and I'm gonna close the, oh, that's Newton color, no, Newton ink, Newton ink layer, and Newton color, and I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna name this characters. I'm gonna turn them off so that I can properly color the background. And this door was supposed to open on the inside, not the outside. I just realized. So this ink here, I'm gonna have to flip it somehow. And it's gonna be something like that, the corner. Though most doors open on the inside, but I drew it opening on the outside in the other page, so now I kind of have to be consistent about it. It's just things you have to keep in mind when you draw, which way doors open. So I'm thinking would, yeah, flip in that way. Hi June. Bon appetit. Appetit. I think that's how it's. Appetite. No, appetit. So I'm gonna crop a hole in my background here. So now I'm gonna do color door. Color door. And background color, it's gonna be the floor. And that was chapter 2. When Newton slams the door because he thinks he smelled a cat. And I think it might have been this one. Let's see. Yep. Well, it'll make more sense to be brownish like this. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, I'll make it darker, I guess. No. Should basically be the same, really. Right. I'm doing it on the wrong layer. Kinda like it that way more. And the dresser, this I'm gonna make another layer and say dress furniture color. Furniture color, so it'll be easier for me to select and do the shading for it. Kind of should be metal, I think. Metallic. Like something patented. Patinat. Can't remember how it's called in English. So now I can even go under it. There we go. Oh, and I should have turned off the numbers. I don't have any holes, that's wonderful. Okay, so again, my furniture layer. There we go. And I really like how I combine the colors here. Looks rather nice. I can go for a bit more of a contrast. So orange, orange, red, orange, orange, red, yellow, red, orange, yellow, red, orange, mustard, red. And this one can be any color since you don't see it. I think I had a blue ribbon on it. Yes, a vibrant blue ribbon. I will want a darker color for her, and she was usually around here. She's in the darker spectrum. Cold, sorry. And that's gonna be his blue eye. And she's gonna have a brown eye and nose. Niels anime face. This is too yellow. Need to find an older page. looks like a bug. He looks like a little bug. Oh. Bug-eyed face. I think the face is a bit too straight and too thick, the line, so I'm gonna try and... Welcome back, June. Hi, can you hear me? Well, this seems to be working, so I hope it's going through. I think I should be able to... Yeah, I have sound. Loud and clear, awesome. How have you been, June? How is it like to have spring? It's been so long since I've had spring, I don't remember how spring is like. +20 degrees. I wish I had 20+ degrees. For us, it's been really cold, and the heating is not working again because why should it? And last night it was really cold. We had to sleep with, I had to sleep with two blankets on, like in winter. I am so ready for spring. 22. I don't even know what the temperatures were. So now it's -1, but it can get to -7, I see. Yeah, I mean, I still have snow. It snowed last week. My hand freezes on the mouse. I want warm weather. I want to go outside. And you know, to make things worse, you know that game I play, Stardew Valley, it has seasons, and now in the game I'm in winter again. And so I'm pretty bummed out about that. And I have a desert. I have a desert in the game, so I go there. I go to the desert and I go fishing in the desert because it has a little lake oasis. So I go and sit there and fish and imagine I have warm weather. And I saw there's a game, My Time in Portia, where it's always sunny. I mean, I haven't seen any screenshots of winter. So I'm thinking of getting that. Although ideally spring is gonna come and I can start going outside and doing something outside. I don't know. They took out my garden. Did you see the movies Free Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri? It got some Oscars. I wonder if it got for screenplay. I'm curious. Three Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri. Like, it's full of memes now. They were making fun of it on a whole bunch of comedy channels. Let's see. It will probably come out at some point, but where are all the List of accolades. Okay, let's see. Academy Awards. Okay. Best Actress. Yeah, she won. Best Picture nominated. Yeah, so it got 2 Oscars for the actors. Best Original Screenplay. Oh, at least he got nominated. I'm glad he got nominated. Okay, he has a lot of awards. I didn't know that. Oh, he won for that one. And screenplays. He got a lot of nominations for screenplays, I see. I don't know, he got 2? Wait, it's 2, it's not 3. Okay. That one got nominated as well. Like, the guy is not indie at all. And people, I saw a lot of people complain that the Oscars were, they got a lot of films that nobody knows about, and why do they keep nominating films that nobody knows about? And that's why they keep nominating them, because nobody knows about them. But it's a funny film if you like black comedy. I also saw Jumanji with Dwayne Johnson last night. It was better than I thought it would be. Like, I didn't expect it to be that good. I mean, I went in with very low expectations, and I was satisfied. And I don't know why they call it a remake or a reboot. It seems like a continuation of it. So I would say it's Jumanji 2, like they wrote on the banner poster thing. And I liked how Jack Black played the character as well. It's a good popcorn flick. I wouldn't go to the cinema for it because the CGI is not that impressive, and cinema is expensive nowadays. So, I wouldn't pay money at the cinema for it. I would wait for it to be on a streaming that I could watch. I really liked Robin Williams' film, so I initially wanted to watch Mrs. Doubtfire, but I couldn't find it on the streaming services that I have. So I ended up watching Jumanji. And I think I wanted to see something else as well, because that's why I initially went, and then I saw they had Jumanji. I was like, okay, good enough. What did I... Oh, I wanted to see The Big Sick. So The Big Sick is a film about what happened to a Pakistani comedian. It's okay, I'm fixing it now. Nobody's gonna care about the fork. It's just me that I don't like it. I feel the compulsion to fix it. Ah, I went too much. Okay. And actually, when I made this, I was thinking you're gonna do like poke up and down, but I guess this could work as well. He's like playing with his food. He doesn't really want to eat it, and he's grumpy. Because if I was hungry and I had to eat something I didn't like, I would be grumpy too. So maybe I'll put another hand here so he's like moving his hand through the plate. Yeah, so The Big Sick, there's this Pakistani comedian named Kumail, and he married an American girl. And before they got married, so they were dating, and she got a brain hemorrhage and had a stroke or something like that. And she went into a they put her in a coma so that she could heal, and it wasn't life-threatening in the end, but it was like still a big scare because they didn't know what happened. I'm not sure exactly what was the issue. I'm gonna have to watch the movie. So that was what actually happened for them. It was kind of a weird situation, and he does touch upon some issues. For example, a lot of Pakistani that go to the UK or America, and also other types of religious people, ethnicities that still care about tradition a lot, will perpetuate the tradition of arranged marriage, even though it is against the laws and the culture of where they now live. So that kind of causes a bit of a generational clash between the children and the parents. And he touches upon that. And actually, I have a friend. He's from Jordan, and he's relying on his aunts and mother to find him a bride, because apparently he's not able to do it by himself, which is, I mean, for us as Westerners, and especially as girls, I think it seems really weird and lame that you need your mother to find a wife. And I'm like, oh mom, I can't do it by myself, please help me. I'm sure that's not how they view the thing, but for me, that's how it looks like from the outside. I'm like, come on, you're not able to find a wife by yourself, you need help. It just seems silly. And it's not one-sided. I mean, the girl has to like the guy as well, so at least there's that. that he saw some girls and they were like, nope, I'm not marrying that. Which I thought was hilarious. I thought it was really one-sided, that only he had a say in the thing. But apparently they have a say in it as well, and they're like, nope, find me something better. Which I was kind of unexpected for me, I admit. And also, he doesn't like it when they're like too young. So I was surprised about that as well, because I thought, well, don't you prefer the younger ones, the younger models? And like, well, I want to be able to talk with her about something other than Pokemons. So it seems somewhat of a reasonable arrangement. I suppose if it was completely absurd like it is in some extreme cases, they would have abandoned the practice a long time ago. But I really don't like the process. I much more prefer the romanticized European version of it. You know, your love comes in unexpected places, and you know, it's love at first sight and stuff like that. And, um, it's much more appealing to me than going through that kind of process where you're shopping for a spouse that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, and you can't return them to the shop and say, please give me my money back, or yeah, I don't want it anymore. It seems like a very business-like transaction, and um, it clashes with my view of the thing. If I made the same bowls in there. What bowls? Oh, there are. It is. Here, look. You made some of the salad thingy. It's there. Such a small detail. Nobody's gonna mind. I should turn off these lines so that I can color his face. There we go. Much easier. Ah, wait, it's the fork there. And I'll put the back lines back in. Poor Newton. I told my husband what Niels cooked, and he was like, "Oh my God, no! Why would you do that to the poor guy?" So yeah, Westerners really don't want to mix their fish with their lamb. The preview, it's because I was actually accidentally I was watching offline. Offline? What? And commenting a thing you made an hour ago. Ah, okay. Now I get it. Oops. Mask. And background table. Oh, say color table. Color. Oh, what a name I gave it. Color table. The finger's not. I should color this cream color first anyway. It'll be easier for me later. Text. this color paper, and now I'm gonna have a layer color hands. It'll just be easier for me to do the shading later on. This pencil, how did we decide it was gonna look? Because I can't remember. So it could have been painted red. Okay. Ooh, this looks interesting. That looks really cool. Amongst other things, I found out that they used to have dentists and fillings in 1,000 years ago in China. They found fillings of metal in rich people's tombs and their mummies. So I was impressed by that. But I think you did a different kind of pencil. What kind of pencil did you do? Because I think you did the one wrapped in string, maybe? Because I thought it was gonna be this one. Yeah, wrapped one. Something more like this. Not this. So it'll be this, and then I'll have to be some kind of wrapping. Oh, you made the flat one, but it's okay. I think I can erase some of the lines and it'll be fine. I'll leave it red and I'll take some of the lines off. There we go, and now it will look like that one. Yeah, you can erase the lines. I haven't seen a good anime in a while now, so I'm kind of really hoping the new Ponok animation is gonna come out soon. Have you seen it? The trailer? It's what's it called? Mary and the Witch's Flower. Mary and the Witch's Flower. I've been looking for this animation and I can't find it anywhere. It's not for sale. It's not for pirating. Tokyo Ghoul. What was Tokyo Ghoul about? I keep hearing about it, but I saw some trailers and it seemed like horrible. But maybe I'm confusing with something else. Tokyo Ghoul. There's a dark Japanese anime manga between collect 12 episode Setting overview. Tokyo set an alternate reality where ghouls, carnivorous monsters who look exactly like normal people but can only survive by eating human flesh, live among the human population in secret, hiding their true nature in order to evade pursuit from authorities. Plot. Okay, so barely survives a deadly encounter. So it has vampires, basically. Half ghoul. Yeah, this was chance. No. Ghouls who manage the coffee shop take him and teach him to deal with his new life. To ghoul society. So it's basically magic aids or something. Staying that is wrong, yeah. Ghouls claim the right to live like humans, not like monsters, with a lot of blood. Well, you do have good taste, so I might see if this one's interesting. Because there are a lot of stories that have like really crappy settings, in my opinion, but have a good story or have something that's interesting and worth giving a thought to. I'm kind of really tired of discriminatory stories because that's everything it's talked about here in the USA. It's just nothing else is discussed really. And there are just so many films about this now in the US. But it's nice, drawings are nice. Yeah, I'd like some nice drawings, get some inspiration. So yeah, I mean, for example, now Will Smith has that story with Bright. I don't know if you saw the trailer. It looks so worn out and boring and rehashed. It's the same character he's been playing over and over again. Wild cop with a good buddy sidekick. And just seems so boring. Yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer, but I'm like, meh, do I really want to hear the same old story? And I'm not that big on Will Smith. I like the guy that is playing the orc. I forgot his name. What's his name? Bright cast. Joel Edgerton. So he's a really awesome actor from what I've seen, and also Naomi Rapace. I really like her. The way she plays the characters. So but I mean, I've seen Zootopia, so I'm not interested in Bright, because it seems like Zootopia was a much better story on the same thing, and the setting and everything is a lot more interesting for me than Bright. So I'll give a look for Tokyo Ghoul. Thanks for the recommendation. I really like fantasy stories, and the fact that Bright is set up in some Los Angeles, American, whatever city is really not appealing to me. I mean, if they had it in like a Bavarian style or Japanese setting, I would be a lot more interested in seeing Bright. Simply because it would be nice to look at the decorations of the setting. But so far, I mean, it's stuff that I can see if I put my head out the window, I can see the setting in bright. So I'm like, meh, not impressed. I can see Walmart uh, uh, now. I don't need to watch a movie to see Walmart. I understand it keeps the budget down for sure. It's a lot more easier to go film in your backyard than to go half away around the world to Croatia or something like that. That's why I really like Game of Thrones, because they film in some amazing places. And then I go on Google and I go check out the castles, and some of the castles have museums, and you can go with Google Maps inside the museum that Game of Thrones filmed some of the setting, and it's amazing. I really like that for me. I mean, probably 20 years from now is not going to be so wow. But right now, to be able to see a beautiful castle on a TV show and then just go on Google Maps and see exactly which part was CGI and which part was real, and to be constantly surprised that, oh, that's real, it's not CGI. That's really cool for me. And also there's such a big community around Game of Thrones that you always have some good channels that will give you some extra information about the places that they visited or the costumes that they made, and kind of give you some extra insight, because often, you know, you have the lighting, you have fighting, you don't get to sit and admire the scenery too much or the costumes too much. Set in Italy? Which anime? Lovely backgrounds. At the moment, I've kind of been rewatching Miyazaki stuff just because I like how he plays with the backgrounds and makes any dull moment interesting, and I have kind of a lot of dull settings in my comic, and I would like to be able to make anything interesting, so I'm kind of trying to get some inspiration from him. Like breakfast scenes and how he draws the food is really awesome. Well, I don't know if he drew those particular dishes, but they were under his directive, and so yeah. I want to be able to make breakfast seem interesting as well. Be the beginning. Let's see. Be the beginning. Beginning. Sid Cremona. Let's see. Backgrounds. Oh, that vegetation looks nice. I'm gonna check it out. Hope it's not gonna be too creepy. What is that? Yeah, I'll definitely check it out, thanks. For example, Cabaneri of the something something, what was it called? Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Yeah, so this was kind of a stupid anime, but it looks gorgeous. I mean, it was watchable for me. The animation was very good. It's set in a fake Italian called Cremona in the kingdom of Cremona. It's a dystopic world. Yeah, I like those. If they're not too post-apocalyptic. I mean, I like some vegetations. I wish Fallout was greener and nicer, but you know the Fallout games? You're always so dead because it's post-apocalyptic. Technically, we're living in a post-apocalyptic world. 65 million years ago, the big meteor struck, and then we had a bunch of volcanoes erupt, so it still looks pretty, even though we're living in a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, thanks for the recommendations. I'll definitely go check them out. So it's already 5:15, so I'm gonna end the stream here. I just wanted to remind you guys that I am going to change the schedule, because there are people that still want to see my stream live, and they can't because it's during the week. So I'm gonna keep a day during the week, and it's gonna be Wednesday. So this is gonna be the last week that I have the old schedule, but next week I'm gonna start streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays. And Wednesday is gonna stay the same hour from 3 to 5 for me, and with daylight savings, I don't know what time it is for you guys. So it's gonna be like that. And Saturday is probably gonna be 11 my time. So 11 my time could be 5 o'clock for you, and 6 o'clock for my sister, and maybe she can join us easier when she finishes the exams, but you know, still has school. And the other people who are employed in the Western Hemisphere, and so now they're at work. Because so far, I mean, only Europeans could watch my stream during the week, so I'm gonna put a day on in the weekend, and that's gonna be Saturday. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and see you in the next stream. Goodbye, everyone.